Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Jasmine, the Buffet Witch, and you already know that because you stopped me outside the doors of Ulta and you was like, Jasmine, is that you, the Buffet Witch? Back again? Yes, it's me. I went to Ulta. So if you saw my last haul video, I had gone to Ulta's, okay, and I picked up some of their liquid eyeshadows that are from the coffee shop collection. Look, Julia's place just be she trying to bring me back. She said, you know, you've been spending a lot of time over there by the Made by Mitchell. And although we aren't upset about it, we're just saying, you know, where's the love? Where's the love, Jasmine? Well, the love is back. The love is back and it's deep. Let's talk about it. So like I said, I picked up some of the shades from the coffee shop collection. They added some liquid shades, baby, okay? And when I swatched at them, and I looked at them and I put them in my collection, I realized that this isn't gonna work. I can't do this. I can't do this. I need to have all of them. So that's what I did. Now there are a few I didn't get. There are 2 light shades that they weren't in stock, but that's okay because I found something else that can kind of dupe them. So so let me just talk about some other things I got first, and then we'll end it at Julia's place. Now, I am trying to figure out brands I want to do a full face in, and maybe just full face of complexion products from the brand. I'm not 100% sure, but I did pick up these things because I already have one foundation from them, but I don't have any concealer and I don't have any powder. So I went over to the Makeup Revolution. Now, Revolution is not really my favorite. I used to love the bronzer I had. This is the lid to it. There was a whole thing earlier in my channel. My son broke it, whatever. Excuse me. But I do have the silk serum something foundation. Looks like this. And so I decided to get the Skin Silk Concealer. And I picked the shade Golden Tan. I'm sorry, Tan Golden, because I like a brighter concealer, okay? I also like a neutral concealer, and I'm thinking that's what we got here, all right? So I also picked up the Magic Eye Bright Corrector, medium to deep. And let me just take a quick peek at her scissors. I saw this, and the reason I picked it up is because it reminded me of that Kevin Aquan, was that Sensual Skin. It reminded me of that, and I've always wanted to try that, but I don't think we're going to. Kevin Aquan is expensive, okay? And look at this huge pot. Jeez. Good Lord. We're gonna have that for forever, but this is a color corrector. It might end up just being a light concealer, but it's a bit peachy. Well, that makes sense because it's to correct. So, but we will try that out. And then when it came to the powders, Revolution is just not the place that I go for complexion. The colors are usually off for me, which is why I was very surprised to like the Skin Silk foundation. So instead, I decided to get the In Real Life Filtered 2-in-1 Press Powder. And this is just the translucent. I did this because I realized I have loose powders, but I don't have any translucent loose powder. So this way I get a 2-in-1. So let's just take a quick little gander at her. Oh God, this was an open package. Please don't let it be nasty already. This is what I hate about Ulta and some of the brands. Like, I'm gonna need you to seal your stuff. Okay, thankfully, I don't see no little fingerprints. Okay, all my stuff is sealed, thank God. So it comes with the loose powder section and then the pressed powder. So that's nice, big, but that's nice. All right, so we will be trying that at a later date. And then I went back over to the clearance section. Okay, I picked up another Ulta foundation. I know you're like, you didn't even use the ones that you bought. Mind your business, okay? But I picked up the Youthful Glow Foundation Serum Drops. This was $1.80, and I picked up the shade Deep Warm because, again, much like Revolution, Ulta doesn't have the best color schemes or color range, but it's not terrible. It'll do. And so I try to go with the warmer shades. That way I can just neutralize them. But these are little drops. Ooh. Oh, that might be a good color. Ooh, gee. Yeah. That might be a really good color. Okay. So we'll give her a try. It says light buildable coverage, luminous finish. All right. I'm gonna give her a little looky-loo, but hold on, because that was a lot. Serum. Oh my God, I'm on the last wipe. This stuff is so juicy. Okay, and then I realize now there's a few different clearance sections. Like I found markdown stuff in a lot of areas. Also, little service announcement. If you go to Ulta and you're looking at the clearance section, especially if you see high-end things in the clearance section, be wary. Just because they've repriced things or put a sticker on it and somebody wrote it on there, does not mean that those are clearance prices, because there was a MAC Connect and Color 6-pan there, and it was for $34. It was in the clearance section, had a markdown label on it for $34. That's how much they cost. So just be cautious. You might think you're getting a steal, but you aren't. They just relabeled it with the original price. It's not actually on clearance, okay? So the clearance things I got, I think, are on clearance. So I also found a little Pat McGrath Luminous Legends eyeshadow duo in Metallic Passion. Metallic. Now, I know what you're saying, Jasmine, you don't even really like Pat McGrath. Why would you do this? Because it's just the shimmer shades. I like her shimmers. I just don't like the special formulas, and the palettes just are a little bit lackluster to me, but those are very pretty. They remind me of the Flower Beauties, and I just, you know, it was cute, it was small, I wanted to get it, so I did. That's why I did it. Jasmine, have you used the palette though that you bought for $3? But have you used it since the video you did? Why are you asking me these questions? How am I supposed to know? All right, let's talk about Juvia's Place. So I did, these are, the only thing I bought are the eyeshadows, okay? Now, this is going to be the last haul for a good while, okay? Because this was a lot of money, but I love it. This is how I pamper myself, but we've been pampered, okay? So I picked up more of the matte shades and then the last two shimmers. So if I looked at it correctly, there are only 4 shimmer shades and then everything else is matte, okay? So we'll do the shimmers last, okay? So we've got the shade Mocha. I'm trying to figure out how to do it, whatever. Mocha, oh, so beautiful. This is gonna come in clutch for my multi-chrome duochrome series. She's rationalizing. And then we've got Toasted Cocoa. They're just so stinking pretty. And then we got the lighter shades. This is Coffee Cake. Let's see, put them in order the way I'm swatching them. Oops, sorry. Hold on. Got an avalanche. Okay, who are you? Coffee Cake. Cinnamon Swirl. That looks like Nubian Nude Gloss, or Nubian Nude Gloss. Caramel Malt. And then we're gonna do the shimmers too. And then Vanilla Velvet. Pretty. And then we've got Bronzed Brew. Come on out, girl. Oh, oh. I like that. That means that they were closed. Okay. Look at these gorgeous shades. Look at those. Focus. Beautiful. Okay. So here we've got Mocha, Toasted Cocoa, Coffee Cake, Cinnamon Swirl, Caramel Malt. Who are you again? Vanilla what? Vanilla Velvet and Bronzed Brew. Those are the shades. Beautiful. Okay, now there were 2 more super light shades. They were out of stock, only the swatched or the testers were there. So I actually went over to the Juvia's Place bronzers, liquid bronzers, okay? And I picked up the shade Butterscotch. I did this because between the 2 shades that I didn't get from the coffee shop, Liquid Shadows, this is just about in between both of them. And I'm going to use this as an eyeshadow base. Right there. That is the shade Butterscotch. So that is what we are going to do. And you know what, guys? I'm going to pull out the other ones. I'm going to take this eyeshadow off. We're going to do a real quick look, okay? Back in a jiffy pop. All right, guys, so the lip is also the shade Cafe Noir. When I originally swatched these in the first haul video, I said that this is a liquid version of Sheba, and she is very dangerous, very dangerous. That is what I have as my lip liner. I filled it in with Peach Please from Mented, and then just a little bit of the center is lightened up with my Self Love liquid lipstick from Juvia's Place, which you know I've also duped out with the Velvet Matte lipstick from Juvia's Place in Mademoiselle. Let's talk about these eyeshadows. So I wanted to do something that was kind of light. I didn't want to go too heavy with the shimmer because I was really testing to see how these layer on top of each other. You may also notice that in the application, I only used 2 brushes. I was aiming for just one, but I ended up using another brush. I do that because I want to see what the flexibility is as the product dries. Can I continue to manipulate both the product on my eye, and will my brush turn like cementy or not? I'm doing that because when I use the Moira Super Hyped, Believe the Hype, Super Whatamajiggets, the brush got real cement-like real quick. Like, you couldn't really layer them, you couldn't blend too much, you couldn't over manipulate those products, else they would gather, grip, disappear. It was a mess. The About Face Fluid eye paints are very much like the Juvia's Place. You have time to manipulate, and even after you have done a shade or used a brush with a specific shade, the brush does not get cementy and hard, and you can still use it to blend things out. I really enjoy the way everything layered. It does not feel like there's anything in my eye. It feels like I have traditional eyeshadow on. And you saw how much I used, okay? It feels like traditional eyeshadow. It does not feel like I have liquids on my eyes. It isn't tight, it's not bunching. I don't see like where the product kind of builds on top of each other. It almost makes it look like if you build too much, sometimes it will make it look overly metallic because the formulas are just sitting on top of each other. Like if you use a matte and then a shimmer, that's what happened with Moira. With these, everything is meshing very well. It is meshing very, very well. I love the highlighting shade. I love that for me. You know, I love a nice highlight brow. I love the dark shades. They are amazing. This shade's Spice Chai looks like Nile. Is it Nile lipstick? I love that these are very similar to the Nubian Earth lipsticks. I could do a monochromatic look with a few of these different shades, but I love this. I also like how I was able to really lightly sheer out this shimmer. I just put a very light wash over it, and it's still really impactful. It's so pretty. And I knew that by putting this shade over something more red, I was going to pull the orange and the kind of pink edges of this duochrome. You can't really see it on screen, but I can see it because when I just swatch this on my skin, you really only see gold. But I'm seeing the orange, I'm seeing the gold flecks, I'm seeing a little bit of the pink on the edges, and there also is a touch of a green shift in this as well. I feel like you can see more green, at least I can, in the portion where I put on the inner corner. But besides that, I just wanted to see how these moved, how they played together, what the feel would be on the eye. Again, does not feel heavy. It feels like I have regular powder eyeshadow on. The fact that I can dupe these as lip products. Look, if you're gonna give me any type of variation of Sheba, I'm gonna say thank you. So thank you, Juvia's Place. This was absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This will get me into using more neutral colors, doing neutral eyeshadow, but glam eyeshadow. Like the one thing I did run into trying to do that wing, as you saw, that didn't work. Not because of the products, but because I apparently forgot how to do winged eyeshadow. Look, some days I can do it, most days I can't. Okay, so we will come back to that at a later date, but as it stands, it was easy to fix. These are long wearing though, okay, so she took a little bit of elbow grease to get off my wrist, or my hand, which I appreciate. It means it's gonna be a long wear formula. It's gonna go on, stay on, do what you want until you tell her to exit stage right, okay? So, thank you guys for tuning into the channel. This is gonna be the last haul, like I said, the last haul for the foreseeable future. because I splurged and I treated myself. I said I wanted a treat, and that is a treat if I've ever seen one. Okay, so we is done. But thank you for tuning into the channel. It's been me, Jasmine, the Buffet Witch, and you already know that because we're back to harping about our love of Juvia's Place. Make sure you take good care of yourself, drink some waters, take your vitamins, exfoliate your lips, play in the makeups, have a good time, okay? I will see you in the next video, which will be very, very soon. But until then, bye.